Hey, yo, I thought y'all said Dame Dash was broke. Dame Dash is not broke. I just seen son on a Art of Dialogue episode
Looked at it
titled,
more of an
hold
investment
on,
in the family because it's my
wait a
family's
second.
property, and we looked at it more of an investment.
Dame Dash breaks silence on 800K debt and being ordered to forfeit assets. But he having this conversation on a ranch in Wyoming, where what he said. It took him about 10 seconds into the interview. I'm exaggerating. Before he stated that it was either 25 or 25,000 acres. Like, nobody even asked him that, but that was that's his stunning, his instinct to stunt. You know what I mean? He can't help himself. You know what I mean? I think I said this a couple of weeks ago that I noticed people was doing a whole like, it's some people, not everybody. It's certain people kind of doing a whole 180 on the way they was talking about Diddy and all of the energy they have, all the smoke they have for Diddy ever since he won his, you know what I'm saying, case. Even, there were some Diddy supporters out there before he sort of won the case. Because as again, I don't say that's a win ain't always a win. He might, the charges that he did get convicted of, if the judge wanna, he could give him time. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of, there's range. So anyway, there have been people who have been willing to support Diddy through all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like verbally, publicly or whatever. Not not talking about his celebrity friends and all that. But ever since the case, a lot more of his supporters have been coming out. Like a lot of the, the narrative has started to shift just a little bit or whatever. I've been noticing that. I feel like Dame Dash deserves that grace, even more of that grace. I feel like people enjoy kicking Dame when he down. Pause, but he ain't done nothing, or whatever it is that he's accused of. It ain't as heinous as the stuff that Diddy has been accused of. I don't feel that way. You know what I mean? Now, granted, Jay-Z, if I was Jay-Z, I could understand why Jay-Z feel like, nah, I'm not rocking with the homeboy. He said certain things about me that closed the door. You know what I mean? I believe in that. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm talking about for the rest of us, the rest of the community who just, have fun at Dame's expense all the time, like to call him broke. Want to, that's good for you. You did this, you did that. You gotta watch how you treat people, how you talk to people. This, that, and the third. You always saying this. You ain't a man if you work for another man and blah 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 and all of that stuff. I mean, right or wrong, he was just trying to motivate the people. I mean that's how I took it. Pause. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. I mean, he could have just been trying to stun on the people too. Either way, but it's not as bad as the heinousnesses that Diddy was, accused of. And in regard, like I said, as far as him being, when it came out that he owed 800,000, pause, a few weeks ago or whatever, and I was like, yo, something just didn't register as severe on my radar because, like, there are levels to broke, right? I say this all the time. Now, I'm not saying that I've ever been a millionaire. Like, I'm not saying I've never had $1 million at one time, right? But I am here to say that 800,000 ain't that much, depending on how you look at it. You understand what I'm saying? And depending on who has it, and depending on what you have to do with that $800,000. You know what I'm saying? What you have to do to get it, how much you have. Nuances. But yeah, if you sitting on, like, soon as the interview asked the dude, it was the Art of Dialogue. Soon as the interview started, the dude asked, what made you do the, jump off? What made you want to do the interview here? Or what made you get a property here? Or get a house out here? And, He's like, well, it started with Kanye, blah, 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 blah. He's like, Kanye had 4,000 acres. I had 25. He didn't have to say that. That's just the spirit of stunt in the man. Pause. But, you know, yeah, he could just, I mean, for 800,000, couldn't he just, what has he been ordered to sell? I think he could sell, I mean, 800,000, what did I say? Yeah, but 800,000, he could, how much for a few of those acres if he got 25,000 of them? You know what I'm saying? I still feel like, you know, hold on a second. Like, I feel like, as he stated, lawyer fees be surpassing that. He said he had like 4 cases against him or something like that, and you know, and through all of that, he lost 8. You know, that's the judgment, 800,000. That's not that much money. I mean, if I had to pay granted, it's so much money that if I had to pay somebody 800,000 right now, I wouldn't even worry about it because it's not even realistic. You understand what I'm saying? But because in certain arenas, it is a lot of money. But I think y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You know, think about how much lawyer fees be. This is why, like, this is why a lot of artists don't even worry about sample clearance. They just put the music out. Or at least they did that for a time, period. Because if the music don't generate a certain amount of money, the owners of that sample will never come at you because it will cost them more to sue you than they stand to make. Them lawyer fees and court proceedings is a motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, they will exceed over millions of dollars in some cases. So, you know, if Dame had to fight 4 cases, you know what I mean? If it was 4 cases involved and him losing all of them, the result is him having to pay 800,000. That really, when you put it in you know, when you look at it from that vantage point, it's not crazy. It's not a lot. It's not. I think it might be a win for Dame. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you could just sell off to it. I don't own land, not yet. Soon come though. I think, what's another story? I'm saying I don't own land, not yet. So I don't know how much, you know, how much he could get for selling some of his land or whatever. You know, I always personally had a little bit of suspicion of just the whole procedures of, you know, just the whole American dream. I've always been a little bit suspect. Well, not always, but from a certain age, I've always been suspect of, you know, when they tell you things about ownership, this, that, and the third, I never really believed in ownership. It's only a few things you can really own. You don't really own nothing. You know what I mean? I don't care what you paid for it or what the papers say, because if it can be taken from you, then you don't own it. It ain't yours. But anyway, so broke, nah. No, I mean, there is a thing, pause, that I disagree with that Dame said in his, you know, in his diatribe, his rant of sorts. You know, there's certain things he always doubled down on. One of the things he went back to was talking about, said, if, you know, if you're worried about another man's pockets, you're gay. Dame, just because you say it's gay don't make it gay. You know what I'm saying? Some people work with each other. Let's just say somebody comes to me, pause, and they want to buy a feature. I could give them the price, or I could ask them what's their budget. That's a completely normal process that happens in the game, because you might want to work with the dude. He might not be able to afford your price, but you ain't gonna work for free. So you ask him, what's it? Is that gay? And plus, you disrespecting the gays when you say that. Anyway, you made it to the end of this video. Let me get 4 thumbs up. No, $4 signs. How about that? Yeah, $4 signs. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. If you're trying to be a taxpaying citizen of the nation, leave us a super thanks or a cash app. We actually prefer the cash app, but y'all do, y'all hard-headed. Cash app tag gonna be in the description along with the Bandcamp link, which is there for those of you who would rather hear me rap than hear me yap. That means that the mixtapes are there. From Nonviolent Rocco, the newest one, all the way back to Shell Shout. Also, the merch link is in the description as well. This is itsmonstanation.com. Click it and get involved. Lay. I'm be out in Chile late August, so stay tuned. We're gonna be turning up for Sean P at the new mural in Williamsburg. Look on our pages, Rockness BCC, Bernadette Always Humble on Instagram for the details, the address, and all that. You know what I'm saying? August 9th. Get involved to get it, y'all. Oh yeah, spell things right. Monster, not monster. It's an A, not an ER. Helter Skelter, not Helter Skelter. AHs, not ERs. You know what I mean? It's Rock, ROCK, except for the Crips. You get to leave off the K, I get it. You know what I'm saying? We'll put a little cuz or a little cuh, something in the comments so I know. And click. The click in boot camp click, CLIK. A lot of y'all get that wrong. I ain't even mad. I get it. But get it right. And most importantly, it's BCC, not BBC. Pause. Pause, protesters. Get your ass out of here. The rest of y'all. Welcome to the nation. I am your host, your president, your tour guide, Mr. Monster Man Rocco. I'm the landlord, the owner, tenant, the janitor. I mops the damn floor. Let's go. I'm one of the realest you ever gon' see. I ain't come here to lie to you. Niggas done with a lie to you. I get Beanie Siegel's first album, or Paul Pierce even, they got the truth. I'm sick and tired of you, you comical and I'm not in the mood for jokes. You are not a goon, not a shooter or a rider. You shoot off your mouth and you be riding dudes, cock for loot, dude, that's a prostitute.